From the Samsung Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Brought to you by SSPTV and the Standard Speaker.
It was controversial, sometimes painful, when it happened just a few years ago, but should Luzerne County properties be reassessed again to lower taxes? Another round of reassessment? Our top story on News 13 for this Monday. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kathy Bazinski. That story in a minute, but some breaking news to tell you about right now. The company that runs the Minsack Halfway facility in downtown Hazleton is apparently about to lose its state funding. State Representative Tara Toohill saying that the Corbett administration has announced that it won't renew the state contract with the operator of the Minsack facility, and that means all state funding for the halfway house will be cut out at the end of this month. The facility, located in the Altamont building in downtown Hazleton, was purchased from the previous owner by a New Jersey firm earlier this year. Without that funding, the facility should no longer be able to function. Toohill has been a strong proponent of getting the halfway house out of the city of Hazleton. A number of crimes have been linked to individuals housed there or who stayed in the area after transitioning through the facility. Well, a member of Hazleton City Council says that property values are sinking in Greater Hazleton and property owners may be paying too much on their taxes. He's proposing Luzerne County have another reassessment process. But as Christina Papa tells us, not everybody thinks the idea is doable.
You may be in for a shock if you're looking to sell your home.
People are selling their homes for a lot less than their reassessment. And that's not fair to the people of Hazleton and those surrounding area.
The value of homes and property in Hazleton has decreased significantly since the county enacted the last reassessment in 2008. City Council member Jack Mundy's clients aren't getting the value of their homes when selling. He thinks it's time to adjust property taxes.
Hazleton and Hazleton area, it's significant. I talked to some realtors, they're telling me 25 and 35% below the reassessment values.
County Council member Rick Morelli doesn't think the county is in the right financial shape to do another reassessment. He calls 2008's controversial adjustment a nightmare.
I don't think that taking on more than we could chew right now is the right thing, and I don't think that going out and doing a reassessment at this point in time would be beneficial to the county or to anyone at this point in time.
Last time they did a reassessment, it cost the county millions. Mundy thinks there's a cheaper solution.
I think it could be simply, running through data in a computer database and adjusting the prices for the whole county.
Folks who think they're paying too much do have a way out. They can go to LuzerneCounty.org and upload a residential appeal form to try and get some of that money back.
And it's not too late to send in those appeal forms if you think your tax assessment was too high this year. Mundy says you have until August 1st to send in those appeal forms to the Luzerne County Courthouse.
Mundy says if taxpayers want to see a change, they need to get active.
What our area residents should do is maybe contact those people and say, listen, it's time to do a reassessment.
Christina Papa, News 13, Hazleton.
And folks who live in one part of Schuylkill County want officials to assess properties in a different way. A number of arsons have left several burned out buildings that need to be demolished. As Matthew Petrillo tells us, residents in one community demanding township officials speed it up.
It's been 2 months since this West Mahanoy Township home was set ablaze, but it still sits in ruins. A stark reminder of what happened that night. Jerry Molesky says he can't help but feel frustrated with what has been happening to the area. The home is just one of 2 in this neighborhood recently destroyed due to arson.
This area, they did have an arson problem going on. There's a whole multitude of dwellings that were set fire to around here.
It took fire crews just over an hour to extinguish the flames, but it's now taking the township more than 2 months to tear down the home.
The township gets grants and tears a lot of these abandoned buildings down. And I suppose it's just going to have to wait its turn. But eventually a building in that condition will go.
Now neighbors who wouldn't talk to News 13 on camera say they're tired of looking at this eyesore. They want it removed immediately. News 13 made several stops to the West Mahanoy Township building today, but officials were not in to comment on the situation. At a public meeting last week, city leaders did say their hands are tied. They're having difficulty contacting the owner of the property, which was vacant during the time of the fire. Police did make an arrest on the arson charge, but the township cannot demolish the property until its title is transferred to the borough.
There's still some nice homes there, the people have to look out their window and see that mess. And like, you have to feel for the people that are right next door, because damp weather like this, the smell of that fire and so on, the people have to put up with that.
And hopefully they won't be putting up with it too much longer. Matthew Petrillo, News 13, West Mahanoy Township.
Well, it looked really bad, but fortunately no serious injuries in an accident on Route 924 this morning. Happened around 6:30 this morning. The driver was traveling along 924 in Hazel Township and lost control of the vehicle. The car left the roadway and rolled over, ending up with the driver's side down. Crews from Hazleton and Hazel Township responded. Fortunately, the driver wasn't seriously hurt, and crews were able to get the driver out of the vehicle through a window. No word on that driver's condition or what caused the rollover. Well, everybody in one way or another is affected by cancer, whether you know somebody or you fought the battle yourself. One organization held a 24-hour-long event this past weekend to remember those who lost their battle. The American Cancer Society held its annual Luminaria service on Friday as part of the Relay for Life. Over 500 bags lit up the track at the Hazleton area stadium in memory of loved ones who were taken too soon by cancer. Our own Sam Lassant spoke at the service, and there was a lap of silence taken around the track to honor all of those who died. Service is just one of the many parts the Relay for Life represents.
There's three aspects to Relay: to celebrate, to fight back, and remember. And this is one of the key three elements for Relay. And it's to remember all our survivors and all those we lost. It's an important part to know where we've come from and where we're going.
Along with this service, there was also a survivor walk held on Saturday to celebrate those who have overcome their battle with cancer. Area residents who fought back against heart disease were also being saluted this weekend. As Stephanie Gorney tells us, people gathered to celebrate life and their change to a healthy lifestyle.
James Kirda was feeling fine and had no idea that he had anything wrong with him. But then he went to the doctor for his regular checkup and found out that he needed a life-saving surgery.
Called a triple bypass, and it was a shock because I did not see it coming. I was not feeling well. I went through a regular routine check with my doctor. He looked at me and said, "Guess where you're going? And pick your hospital." And I picked the Lehigh Valley.
After the surgery, his doctor sent him to the Hazleton Health and Wellness Center, where he took part in the cardiac rehab program. This program is designed to help patients live a healthy lifestyle after they have had a heart surgery or procedure.
I personally believe that between them, Dr. Phillips down there, and the doctors here, and Corinne and all, that's the reason I am alive speaking today. I was told if I didn't go through the operation I did, I wouldn't have made Christmas. So I'm very pleased to be here, very glad for this program.
On Sunday, the Wellness Center held its 25th annual cardiac rehab banquet, where it honored past and present graduates of the program. Eleanor Gramada and James were both selected as Patients of the Year for all of the hard work that they had put in.
It had helped me greatly, and I continued on with phase 3 up at the rehab upstairs, so which I enjoy very much.
Both James and Eleanor are grateful for this program and have seen a positive change in their life since they started it. Stephanie Gorney, News 13, Sugarloaf.
And still ahead on News 13, a decidedly cooler forecast for this week. We'll tell you about it in News 13 weather. But first, it should be some delightful weather to hit the streams and do some fishing, or maybe drift along in a boat. We'll salute the summertime pastimes when News 13 continues. Known for its outdoor activities, and fishing is especially popular. As Matthew Petrillo tells us, it's no surprise that hundreds are out right now as it's lakes, creeks, and dams for National Fishing and Boating Week.
To Dennis Sheridan, any fin is possible if you don't trout yourself. He's been fishing for more than 60 years. He says he likes to come to the Whippoorwill Dam for the trout before the temperature gets too hot.
Trout die when the water gets too warm, so they'll stay deep in the deep water.
And when it comes to fishing, he says, size matters, and we're not squidding.
Fishermen might lie on occasion. That's usually about size of fish, but they'll tell you what are they hitting on and things like that, and you can have a good time.
The folks behind National Fishing Week are hoping families across the nation enjoy a grilling good time fishing this summer. Now, the Recreational Boating and Fishing Foundation says just about every family in the country is about an hour away from a place to fish and boat, and that makes it both affordable and fun.
The weather's awesome. It's nice out. I mean,
it's a whole family thing for you.
Yeah, it's a whole family thing. We come out and we fish, and we have a great time.
The Whippoorwill Dam is special to the Rileys. Veronica and her husband caught their first trout here. And fishing is an educational experience for their children, too.
Running and playing, and also that you don't know how the fish... You can learn about fish. You don't know how the fish tastes, so it's like kind of like exciting about getting fish and how it tastes.
And the children are learning. Sheridan says even though it's pretty hot out during the day, keep the cigarettes, coffee, and even sunscreen away.
Fish have a remarkable sense of smell, and trout have one of the best. And they'll smell things that we can't smell. And things that they don't like, they'll stay away from.
But the most important thing to remember is to just have fun.
Fishing is just great. I love fishing because it's relaxing, just being out in the air, talking to different people.
And the best tip of all is to just trust in cod. Matthew Petrillo, News 13, Frackville.
And so how's the weather for fishing? Let's check our regional weather from the National Weather Service. Taking a look at the radar, we have the rare chance of an occasional shower here or there, maybe, but for the most part, relatively rain-free. Creative condition is a feel-good one. It's by Nicholas Perez, a student at West Hazelton Elementary, and he says he loves summer, and he loves rainbows, and he loves bunnies, so he drew one bunny under the rainbow and another finding the pot of gold. Pretty cute. Now let's take a look at News 13 weather from the National Weather Service for Greater Hazelton, and what a difference a day makes. Tonight, mostly cloudy, gradually becoming clear with the low all the way down to 48 degrees. For Tuesday, sunny with a high only up to 70, clear at night with the low around 46. And heading to Schuylkill County for tonight, mostly clear with a low around 45. Then on Tuesday, sunny, a high just getting up to 70 degrees. It'll be clear at night with a low around 46 degrees. And let's check the winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you play. The daily 639, Big 4 0952, Quinto 02525, and the treasure hunt 3 6 19 23 25. Hope you won.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, Holy Rosary Parish will be holding a rummage sale Tuesday, June 11th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and Wednesday, June 12th from 9 a.m. to noon. Plenty of items will be available, and it will be handicap accessible. Another announcement tonight, St. Michael's Church will be holding a healing service Sunday, June 9th at 3 p.m. For more information, please give them a call, 570-462-0809. And finally, the second annual High Mountain Craft Beer Festival, sponsored by the Rotary Club of Hazelton, will be held Saturday, June 22nd at Genetti Inn and Suites in Hazelton. From 1 to 5 p.m., enjoy over 40 craft beers with entertainment by OstroChat. All proceeds benefit the Rotary Club. For more info, please call 570-454-2494. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Edward C. Augustus of Naples, Florida. Private services were held on June 1st. Leonard A. Bator of Hazelton. Mass is Wednesday at 11 a.m. in the Most Precious Blood Church. Friends may call at the church from 10 to 11 a.m. The Fierro Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Ronald Wentworth of Shenandoah. Services are Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. in the Zion Lutheran Church. Friends may call Tuesday from 10 to 11:30 a.m. And Irene Maury of Weatherly. Mass is Wednesday at noon from Our Lady of Lourdes Church. Friends may call Wednesday from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. at the Philip J. Jeffries Funeral Home. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop located on 15th Street in Hazelton. For delivery to all local funeral homes, call 570-454-0111. And by Mia's, once again, the Hazelton area's #1 rated restaurant. Call 570-501-3410 for information on luncheon packages.
SSPTV Sports on News 13 with Fred Barletta Jr. and Ron Marquez.
We get to the month of June in high school sports, and the only people still standing are those going into the state playoffs in baseball and softball. Now, the latter, well, that's where we're going to focus because the Hazelton area Lady Cougars are in the dance. And it gets started today. Let's take a look at the brackets. They're going back to where they won the district championship last week against Williamsport. That's Wilkes University inside Kirby Park. And they'll be going up against Daniel Boone. Now, a lot of people have been asking me today, where is Daniel Boone? And it is in Birdsboro, PA, which then leads, where's Birdsboro? It's about 10 miles south east of Reading. So it's basically in the Reading area. And that's again, the matchup. District 3, number 2, Daniel Boone against the District 2 champs, Lady Cougars. Now, the winner of that game will have to wait till tomorrow because District 12 champ St. Hubert out of the city of Philadelphia, they're going to be taking on Neshaminy out of District 1. And again, that game won't be until tomorrow. Other half of the bracket, you got the District 11 champion Northampton team going up against North Penn, and Central Bucks East will be going up against the winner of 12-2 consolation game. So we'll wait and see. Let's go down to the AAA level, Nazareth Academy, Franklin Township. You got Donegal, Bethlehem Catholic, Pendergrass, Bonner, Twin Valley, and Valley View in Jersey Shore. We're only giving you, as we said, the top half of the bracket because, well, there's so many teams out there, only the ones that are directly affecting Hazleton and the regional teams. AA softball, Brandywine, Philadelphia Charter, Christopher Dock, Penn Argyle, Conwell, Egan, Pequea Valley, and Holy Redeemer, Warrior Run. That game is going to be played up at Wilkes as well. District 1, Bristol leads off our single A, and you got Northern Bradford and Old Forge, Williams Valley, Bloomsburg, and Hindman Charter against Greenwood. Now, let's talk about baseball. Even though the Cougars aren't there, here's what we're looking at in Quad A. Coatesville, Frankfort, Parkland, North Penn. Ironically, both of those teams are on the schedule for the Cougars. They're in. LaSalle College, Penridge, so's Wyoming Valley West, and Exeter. So, well, this is what you could say for the Cougars. 3 of those 8 teams are teams that the Cougars have on their schedule, but we'll see what happens with that. Go down to the AA bracket, or actually, I don't want to skip the AAA. You got Holy Ghost Prep in Littlestown, Bonner, Pendergrass, West York, Tamaqua, Franklin Township, Abington Heights, Jersey Shore. Tamaqua, of course, is the District 11 champ, and they're going against Franklin Township, which is out of the Philadelphia area. AA, Newman Goretti goes against Salisbury, Hughesville, Kutztown, DeLone Catholic Prep Charter, and the District 2 champ, Lakeland Chiefs, will take on Loyal Sox. Single A, well, Old Forge, Tri-Valley, District 11, District 2 matchup. The winner there gets York Catholic Devon Prep, and Canton Lancaster Christian Academy, and Calvary Christian against the charter school GMAP out of District 12. So let's get it going. The final sports state playoffs of the year, baseball and softball. Russ Kanzler had one base knocked in a run with it. He had a home run on Saturday, we should point out. His Norfolk team, though, got upended by Buffalo yesterday. And Reading dumped Akron. The Rail Riders got upended by Durham. The Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs took it on the chin against the Braves Club out of Gwinnett. There's your minor league schedules that you got to know about.
Welcome to Trivia Treats on this June 3rd, 2013. Hi, everybody. 10 years ago, in 1993, Julie Crone became the first female jockey to win a Triple Crown race by guiding Colonial Affair to a 2-length victory over Kiss and Chris on a cold, drizzly day at the Belmont Stakes. Colonial Affair went to the post with a 14-1 betting odds. Coming into that 93 Belmont, women riders were 0-7 in Triple Crown races, and Crone was winless in 3 tries. In 2000, Crone became the first woman inducted into the National Museum of Racing and Hall of Fame. In 2003, Crone became the first woman to win the Breeders' Cup. Same year, same week, 10 years ago, guard Dan Marley set an NBA playoff record by sinking 8 3-pointers in only 10 attempts, leading the Suns to a win over the Seattle Supersonics in Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. Forward Charles Barkley contributed a triple-double with 43 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 assists. Now let's go back exactly 80 years ago today to 1933 to a very unusual baseball game because numerous sideshows highlighted the game between the Cardinals and Reds at Redland Field in Cincinnati before Crosley Field. But it seemed nobody cared about the game. The chaotic day began when Dizzy Dean of the Cardinals was fistfighting with Reds hurler Bob Derringer in front of the grandstand before the game started. Both pitchers were sent to the showers, and they both were in street clothes during the game and not together, of course. During the game, Reds acting manager Jewel Enns was ejected for arguing with the umpiring crew. He was just miserable and gone before the 4th inning. Then later in the game, Cincinnati center fielder Harry Rice collided with the outfield wall and was knocked out briefly, but when he came to, he couldn't remember what team he played for, so he was sent to the showers. Before a visit to the hospital for a checkup, he was okay. Cardinal infielder Burgess Whitebread was conked on the shoulder with a bottle when he leaned out of the dugout, and the fans in the left field stands turned ugly by throwing bottles and garbage near left fielder Ducky Medwick before he retreated to his dugout. Meantime, 3 umpires at first, second, and home were being bombarded with bottles and other debris. They were forced to be escorted from the field by police. The game was called. The Cardinals, who were leading 6-2 at the time of suspension, were declared victors because the game was official. That was not a good day for Major League Baseball. Till Friday, be a good sport. They weren't. And stay loose.
Plenty more news and information headed your way on News 13. Residents of one Schuylkill County community say it's a dangerous eyesore and they want officials to do something about it. That story and much more news when the 13 crew comes right back.